Hey everyone, I'm Patrick Walsh here previewing the 2014 Conference USA Indoor Track and Field Championships taking place this Friday and Saturday in Birmingham, Alabama in the Crossplex. Here with head coach Gary Stanley. Gary, the first thing is it's great going to Birmingham because this is a facility that the team knows very well, having already competed there twice this year.
Correct. We enjoyed both outings up there. It's a great facility, one of the best in the country, and let's just say that a 6-hour bus ride to Birmingham is better than a 16-hour travel day to Boise, Idaho. But we're excited about that facility and the conference. It's our first track outing in the new conference, and we're anxious to see how it plays out.
Talking about now the indoor championships, let's look at the women. First of all, if you look at the women's team, you can't go anywhere without talking about Kim Francis and what a job she's done. But her streak is on the line this year. She's won 3 consecutive gold medals in the 60-meter hurdles, but she's going to be challenged to win it this year.
Well, she is going to be challenged in that event, her signature event, and also when you look at the fact that she scored heavily in the 60 flat dash and the 200 for us before in previous championships. It's going to be a big weekend for her, and we need her to have a great meet and continue her streak.
So what does someone like Kim Francis need to do facing against an entirely new competition, a new set of legs, to score high and even win the hurdles?
Basically just stay calm, stay relaxed, and listen to the cues she gets from Calvin Robinson, her sprint and hurdle coach, and I think she'll do fine.
Also, another big hurdler for the Lady Texters is Bianca Jackson. She's had a great year. I think she's sitting about 5th or 6th in the conference list right now. How do you see her progression this year going, and how will she continue that through this meet?
She has to learn patience. Kim is a veteran. Bianca not so much, but she's got to be patient. The hurdles is not an event you can force. You have to get the rhythm and you have to go with it. So I think she'll do well. Let's just cross our fingers on that. She's ready.
One of the athletes that competes in a lot of events, Charlotte Craddock, she's in the 60s, she's in the 200, she's in the jumps. How do you see her handling this new conference?
I think depending on how she handles the first couple of efforts, will determine where she goes. The jumps are big. She could have a great impact for us in the jumps, and then the sprints will fall where they may. But she's going to be a busy young lady this weekend. We'll probably end up running her on the 4x4. And, hopefully she's going to stay hydrated and have a great weekend.
One of probably the top athletes on the women's team, at least according to the numbers this year, has been Pamela Lee. She tied the school record in the high jump. How do you see her entering the Conference USA Championships in that event?
I think she has a chance to win. I think she's been getting better every week. She's had a total turnaround from last year. Last year's indoor season was a disaster. This has been very, very successful. Great attitude. And she likes to compete, so let's hope that she goes out and gets a chance to get a W.
Last year, the program graduated 2 great throwers in Makara Vassell and Marcella LeBlanc. Now you've got a younger but also mature thrower in Sabrittany Angel. How do you see her entering this championship meet?
I think she's going to be in the middle somewhere. I think she's got a chance to move up a couple of places over where she is, and let's hope that she gets in there and stays relaxed. The throwers are coming around at the right time. I feel very comfortable with where the men and women throwers are right now heading into this championship.
Going on to the men's side, let's stick with the throws there. Aaron Orduno's really had a great year so far. I think he's ranked 4th in both the shot put and the weight throw entering the Conference USA Championships. What does he have to do to get over that hump to get in the final 3?
He has to listen to Rob Geyer, his coach, who was an All-American thrower at Arizona and knows how to handle this pressure. So he has to listen carefully, stay relaxed, don't try to nail it on the first throw. Get a throw in that's going to buy you 5 more and get you to the finals. And that's the key with the throws, is not be so amped up that you're trying to throw huge on throw number 1. You end up with a foul, then you're cautious on 2. Next thing you know, you're looking at maybe not making the finals. So he has to listen to Coach Geyer and approach it in a sane, sensible way.
Moving backwards from the throws, Devin Henderson goes by Trayvon, probably has really had a great year. He's highly ranked in both the long and the triple jumps. He's very effective in both those events. What does he need to do to really become a guy that will finish in the top 3?
Well, we're going to sprint him too, and I think sprinting in the 60 is going to help, particularly his long jump, and then that'll carry over to the triple jump. Same deal, get on the runway, trust your marks, and realize when you're on that runway in that facility, if you're on during the warm-ups, you need to back up a little bit because the adrenaline and everything is going to carry you past that. So it's really listening and not overthinking what's going on, listening to the cues from the coaches and understanding what you're trying to do on that particular jump in your sequence of jumps.
Also in the high jump, you've got a younger kid named Tamario Latin. He'll high jump, he'll long jump. What has he done this year to make him stand out?
Tamario has looked great on some days, and as a freshman you would expect this. They're good one week, they're bad one week, they're good one day. He has to come in and just do the same thing we were talking about earlier, is just approach it reasonably and not become so excited as a freshman. It's very difficult for freshmen to come to their first conference meet and handle everything. And that's our job, is to have these kids calm and ready to go.
Looking at the sprints, Trey Hadnot, what more can you say with what he's done here? But now he's still trying to get that gold medal, going into a new conference. We kind of been saying that he's got a bronze ceiling, at least on the national level. He finished third at the NCAA championships last year in the indoor 200. His freshman year, he finished third in the Pan Am Junior Championships in the 200. Looking also kind of beyond the conference meet, but conference meet in the NCAAs, where does Trey stand right now, and how can he take that next step?
Well, first, I think this weekend he has to concentrate on Conference USA, because if he doesn't, he can be sitting in the stands on Saturday. As good an athlete as he is, the Conference USA is a tough conference. You have to be on your game in the prelims. We're going to run him in the 60 and the 200, two events. He's got to think about both of them and then get through this weekend. Having said that, we hope that this weekend sets him up for nationals and going there, and a lot depends on lane draw in the prelims, etc. The 200 is the most tricky event in track and field indoors because of lane assignments, and so you go in there and try to handle that facility the best you can in that lane. I think he is better. I also think the national scene is better this year too. I think Trey is sitting maybe 13th or 14th on the list right now. We know some people are going to drop out of that event to concentrate on the 400, so he'll move up, and let's just hope on that weekend he jumps in there and gets a great performance again, as he did last year. But he's got to get through this weekend first.
Everyone knows with track and field, you always end with the 4x4. It's one of the most exciting events in an entire track and field meet. Give us a quick preview of both the men's and the women's 4x4s.
I think both teams are going to do really well. The men were several seconds behind, but at a conference meet with everybody running umpteen events and everything else, it's an even playing field coming into that, and the kids will be amped up. That's an event where you don't have to be calm. You got to go out and dig deep because it's your fifth or sixth race of the weekend. And I think the women have a shot to win. The men have a chance to podium if we really get on it and take care of everything.
Well, we've got the Conference USA Championships coming up this weekend. The big challenge for Louisiana Tech now is you no longer have the comfort of dominating the sprints and the jumps like we had in the Western Athletic Conference. There's a lot of really good sprinting teams, a lot of really good jumping teams, a lot of really good throwing teams, and everything really within Conference USA. It's a much tougher conference, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely tougher and deeper. You know, the difference is that kids that we had that were maybe our fourth sprinter were going to get 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th place. Maybe, you know, they were going to pick up some decent points. In this conference, your kids that are 3rd and 4th on your team in that event may be sitting in the stands on Saturday, not getting any points because they're not in the finals. It's a tremendously deep conference, and 14 teams on the women, 11 on the men. There's no room for error in this thing.
And as a coach, how do you prepare and plan for a meet like that when you're trying to rack up as many points as possible?
Well, you better plan a year or two ahead, because when you get there, it's kind of like, okay, we are what we are. And as we look ahead and as the conference stabilizes and we try to figure out our niche, then we'll get to that point. This weekend, it's just go there, put your people out there, and do the very best you can.
This is not the first time you've entered a new conference. You've done it 3 or 4 times before. What have you learned in the past that you can kind of give to your team and even your assistant coaches going into the new league this year?
Expect the unexpected. This is my 5th conference in my 32 years here at Louisiana Tech. I've been through this 4 prior times where you're going in and it's a new thing. And things are not going to go the way you want them. It's a 2-day meet, 48 hours. You've got to stay in control, be rational about decisions you're making, and control your emotions. And I think that we'll do well. The coaches are excited about it. I'm excited about the coaching staff. I've got 3 very good assistants that I think are going to do a great job this weekend.
Well, again, I'm Patrick Walsh here with head track and field coach Gary Stanley previewing the 2014 Conference USA Indoor Track and Field Championships. That meet is this Friday and Saturday at the Birmingham Crossplex in Birmingham, Alabama. It'll be carried live on delay on Fox Sports Net. Please check your local listings for times.